I want to share a little more of this time-lapse capture from September 9th, 2022. And again, this would be looking toward the east as the sun was moving towards our location here in the southwest. And right in through here is where something appears, and it has appeared before in many of my other captures. And the natural flow, so to speak, of air traffic and the way they control the air traffic around here, all of the airplanes and the majority of it come right over these foothills right here to the distance. So a lot of times I'm got the camera aimed in that angle because I like the things that appear in my captures right here. And there is so much going on right here, folks. I'm telling you. Right here is where the main focus is, where this thing is being illuminated, but there is so much all in this entire area here, and it is large and in charge, and I do have a close-up of it too. And I would say it's probably up, I don't know, at a guess, between 80 to 100,000, maybe. Yeah, but it's something else that I've captured many times in that same direction. But this one just takes a cake because it really just illuminates so much right there in that general area. And, I also want to share a little more information from the Owning the Weather PDF file as well, because there's a very curious word that appears in that file, and it only appears 3 times, and it's the word indistinguishable. And I want to read a little bit more information on that and point something out to some people. And I don't want anybody to take offense at it. I'm not intending to insult anyone's level of intelligence or question anybody's belief systems or question or threaten anyone's livelihoods because they depend on these main narratives and these storylines and things of what they say is going on up in the skies above our heads. And I know there are a lot of people that are, they earn a living off of these agencies that produce these data sets concerning weather and the documenting of weather and stuff. And I know there are a lot of people that, distribute and disseminate those agencies' websites and data sets and information, and they earn a living off of people pay them to provide them with that data and those, predictions and everything. And I want you to just keep in mind that I mean no offense by this video and my theories and any of the context that I, include when I present my captures and theories. But I want to make sure that people understand the word indistinguishable and what it really means, because I think it is a very key word to a lot of the things that are going on right now. And you can see right in through there. There is something pushing towards us, towards our location, that is superheating and creating these steam vapor clouds right here that's wrapping right around it. And there's the plane coming through. And a lot of times there's birds, like you saw that bird coming through there. A lot of times there's the birds and dragonflies that will end up right in my captures, right in an area where I'm seeing a lot of activity and objects. And again, there is so much going on right here. There's so much up here. And I'll break that down and go frame by frame in that and show that with the magnifying glass and another one. But yeah, right there, there's the bird pops into view, and he's almost like saying, "Look at here, look at here, look at here." And so I looky there, and I find a lot of really interesting things. But I want to go into really quick here and discuss the word indistinguishable. And again, it only appears 3 times in this file here. And one of the first times that it's mentioned is on page 25, but my little auto search thing isn't going to go to it. Yeah, I'm going to have to scroll down. I know in here somewhere it mentioned something about the former Soviet Union and vertical something. Yeah, right here. Yeah, where it talks about it is important to note that many techniques to modify the upper atmosphere have been successfully demonstrated experimentally. Ground-based modification techniques employed by the FSU, the former Soviet Union, include vertical HF heating, oblique HF heating, microwave heating, and magnetospheric modification. But I find this term here, vertical HF heating, curious because oh, I've captured what looks a lot like a Tesla coil. That would be some vertical heating, wouldn't it? And now this was back in 2018. So there's several other ones too. There's a lot of publications from the Weather Modification Agency and society and groups. And yeah, they do exist. They are real. And this graphic is so curious to me. And I was looking at these graphics the other day, and something came to me, and I put together something. But again, this is another depiction here of artificial ionospheric mirrors, point-to-point communications. This is directing energy, folks. In case you didn't know, this is the very definition of directed energy. So for all of y'all out there that want to deny the do, don't deny the do, because the do is real, because they actually are directing energy around our atmosphere and beaming it off and directing it back down to ground level. It's called artificial ionospheric mirror. And I swear I have captured so many different anomalies up in the sky that would suggest that they have these things up there in place. And okay, anyway, we're looking at the word indistinguishable. And one of the first times that the word indistinguishable is used in this file is where they're talking about disrupting enemies' communication and radar transmissions by beaming these things up here and creating this artificially created ionization region, okay, where they could disrupt radio signals and different things. And they further go on to say that offensive interference of this kind would likely be indistinguishable from naturally occurring space weather. Okay, that this HF communication enhancement and degradation is possible, and it will be indistinguishable from natural occurring space weather. Okay, and then it appears once again here in this section where they're talking about creating an artificial scintillation which would allow them to disrupt satellite transmissions over selected regions. And like the HF disruption described above, such actions would likely be indistinguishable from naturally occurring environmental events. Okay? And then here is the third time that it is used. The third time's the charm, right? Mm-hmm. And that is here. As with artificial HF communication disruptions and induced scintillation, the degradation of enemy spacecraft with such techniques would be effectively indistinguishable from natural environment effects. So they have made it indistinguishable. They've simulated and they've mimicked Mother Nature and the natural environment effects of different storm systems and things, and made it indistinguishable. And there are a lot of people that do not have the ability to distinguish this and discern this difference between natural occurring storm systems and cloud structures and engineered ones, because they were born within the last 20 to 30 years and it's been going on their entire lives. So the only storm systems they know are the ones that are engineered. And because they engineer so many of them, that now to those people who are not familiar with what a natural storm and what natural energy systems and what natural flow of energy feels like, to them, the times when nature is actually interfering and it's actually natural, they see it as not natural. Do you see what I'm saying? So they have done this flippity jibbity on everybody where this is concerned and made it indistinguishable. But there are some of us, and I know there are more than me. I know there's quite a few. I know there are quite a few because I've watched a lot of y'all's videos. I know there are some of you that are still able to distinguish a natural storm and a natural cloud structure and something natural occurring in our environment and in our skies as opposed to something that is engineered. But unfortunately, there are quite a few people who just don't have that ability. And those are the people that they are utilizing. Those are the people that they're putting forward on on the platforms to disseminate and share their propaganda of their engineered systems. They do this thing over here and they create this situation and then they call it something and then they put that information out there to the public, and all these young, impressionable minds and people who just don't know any better are sharing that information, and you're sharing false data. You're disseminating their propaganda. Okay, so the times when those data sets and those sensors go down, those are the times that I believe nature is intervening. That's when nature steps up and says, nope, you're not going to do that. So then they have to cut that feed. They have to shut that data set down and those sensors down and shut the people off from that information because it's not presenting the data and the predictions that they said that it would because nature intervened, because they don't have full control of this stuff. And they allow people to just disseminate the information and prop up storylines about how it's a 1200-year storm and it's this and it's that, and they give it special names, and the people just disseminate it. And there's some of you out there that are disseminating that, and people are paying you. They're paying you to share their weather predictions and their data sets that's based on their propagation and their engineering of it. But anyway, oh man, this video is already getting really long. I was going to go into each of these frames. I'll pull out some more. Maybe I'll do another one where I'll go right into these frames. But I really wanted to focus in on the word indistinguishable and let folks know that there is so much that's going on right now that it is hard to tell. It really is. And there is so much going on in this capture. Right here, there is so much going on right here. And I'm going to do another video and show a little more of it. But I did something with one of these graphics I thought was kind of curious. I'm going to get the magnifier out, but you know, this has presented itself in the sky here many times. I've captured a lot of footage over here towards this direction of the sun moving towards us, and this is the natural flow for air traffic around the valley too, where it comes in over the Lake Mead Hills there. Flies and things like that bird right there. He's like right there, right where there's like stuff going on right here. There's so much going on right here, and he's almost like he's saying, "Look at here, look at here, look at here." And yeah, right there, there's so much going on in this capture. And right there is that like diamond shape that pops out. It almost looks like an elongated like triangle or kite shape right through there. And I just find that curious because as I look through some of these graphics and things from that PDF file too, let me get rid of the magnifier. Yeah, I want to pull this out here and show you this here. There we go. And now in this one here, I want to pull out this little star for this commander-in-chief. Yeah, not my commander-in-chief, just saying. Seems like a circus show up there in Washington. I keep expecting, like, every time that Kareem, your pair of jeans press secretary comes out, I expect somebody else to pop out from the back and say, live from Washington, D.C., it's Saturday night. Like it's been a really bad, like, Saturday Night Live skit or something. I don't know. Let me get rid of this stuff here. And then I have my little morning star here. Yeah, I just think that's kind of curious. Yeah, right there is like the diamond shape and outline. And I don't know, folks. I'm definitely going to go through those images frame by frame and show a little bit more closer view of what I think is possibly going on here, because there's so much. There's so much going on in this capture. But I just thought that was interesting where they were showing this graphic of this elongated kite looking mirror. And I know I of course added a little star there, but yeah. Anyway, indistinguishable, folks. And you know, I can't just be quiet about it and accept all of this Neo stuff when I've seen the news reports and the information of people actually having sufferable losses. Do we really need to accept that anymore when they have published and confessed that they have the ability to control it? Do we need to keep accepting all of these storm systems and all of this stuff that does catastrophic damage and sufferable losses to humanity? I don't think so. You know, they need to stop what they're doing and allow Mother Nature to get back into control. That's the bottom line. Just know that I really appreciate you, and just know that you matter to me. And please stay tuned. I have so much more that I want to share.